Hi, I'm Trent Taylor from Teach It Forward. I'm going to do a video today about the people skills we talked about in the blog a couple of weeks ago. Thank you for your request. Thank you for saying, hey Trent, I'd love to see that 10-minute video. Well, here's the reward for your efforts. So people skills is the number one thing that we as people need to develop as business people. We not only need to develop for the financial material rewards of business, we also need to develop them from the personal, from the emotional, from the spiritual side. It's about connecting with people. In order to connect with people, in order to make some sort of difference and an impact, it's a good idea to start with understanding people. Now, there are a number of profiling systems that say people are this and I'm a this and I'm a that and I'm a that. And a lot of people, they don't believe in that. A lot of people, that's just about, oh, I don't fit in a box. Now, I tend to agree with a lot of those thoughts. I also carry a belief that we as human beings tend to display habits. We have a lot of habits, and we do display trends of behaviour. So for me, it's all about habits and trends. And those habits and trends are found, are seen, are heard in words we use, in actions that we do, the way that we dress. There are little clues. As success leaves clues, so does people's personalities, who people are. And so the basic tool that I was taught in my early years of coaching, this was probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago, probably 8 years ago actually. 8 years ago was the DISC and VAK, or the DISC system, the DISC. I know there's Myers-Briggs, I know there's the Flippin profile, I know there's Wealth Dynamics profile, I mean, there is a whole bunch of them. But this is one that I know, it's very simple, and I think it's something that we can all just embrace. And if you want more information on it, obviously, Google DISC. The other thing is the VAK, the visual audio kinesthetic. So I'm just going to share those with you now. And my intention of sharing this with you is that have a think about it. Work out what you think you are, and now think about some people and go, oh yeah, they display those behaviours. And if you know who they are, if you can think, I think that they're that, and then start to try and communicate to them like that, you see that the results and the responses change to you. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is the DISC profile. So the DISC, now people can do 1, 2, 3 day courses on the DISC. This is such a very high level, very basic description I'm going to give you. So please, just be aware of that context. The DISC and the VAK. Now, the DISC is a personality profile system. There's really 2 questions you just need to ask here to determine where a person sits on this quadrant. Now, the 2 questions are, is this person an extrovert or is this person an introvert? That's a simple answer. I'm either extroverted predominantly most of the time or I'm introverted. I have a natural tendency. The other thing we need to ask ourselves is the person more task-orientated or is the person more people-orientated? Do they like to be with people, hang with people, communicate, or do they like just to zone in, get the task done and do it? Is the person introverted means, are they a bit more quiet? Are they a bit more reserved? Are they more soft? Or are they extrovert? Are they out there? Yeah, come on, I can make it happen. These are the simple explanations of these. So, if you ask yourself right now, are you extrovert or are you introverted? Are you task or people? Whatever your answer is, you say, well, for me, Trent, I'm a high I and a high D. My profiles are very much up in this level. So I am more extroverted. Typically, naturally, I'm more people orientated, but I can be very at a task level. So let's explain to you what the DISC are. Now, the D is what we call a driver. There's no really set word, but this is the way I explain it. A D is a driver. It's someone who they have to be first. They hate detail. They want the latest. They want the best. They want to be the first. Get out of their way. They're not interested in relationships. They are great at starting a project. They're hopeless at finishing it, but they're great at starting things. They'll get things moving. They will innovate. They will grow. They will change. They will change on the flick of a hat. Is a high D personality type is that. So I hope that makes sense to you. A high I I tend to call these people like an influencer. An influencer, as you can see, are an extroverted people person. A high I loves to be around people. You know, if they're going to learn how to swim, well, they're going to get all their friends and they're going to go and swim together. They very rarely like to be by themselves or to do things by themselves. If you want to inspire and lift a high I's work performance, get them surrounded with other people. Okay? So they are very much a people-centered person. They love to be with people and they love to help and influence them. A high S, okay, there's a bunch of descriptions for these, but you know, they're stable, secure, systematic. A high S is an introverted person, but they are people-orientated. So they're just not out there as much. Now, a high S hates change. Okay, change for them freaks them out. If you want a high S to change, give them tell them each week over 6 weeks, and then eventually they'll grasp it. But once they hook onto a process or a system, they will do that methodically every day, every week, and that's where they feel safe. Okay, so S is also safe. Okay, so these are great people to start businesses, start new ideas. These are people that are great to get, you know, the people in the community together, your clients together, your team, and everyone all happy and influenced. These are the guys that once you write systems, they will write the systems and they will follow the systems. These are the guys who, they bought a Toyota Corolla 10 years ago. They need to update and change their car. So what do you think they buy? A Toyota Corolla. Because they can rely on it. That's safe. There's no risk. That's what a high S is. A high C is really a compliant person. Okay? Compliant person is like someone who loves checklists. You know, so when they go and buy that latest stereo or see electrical good item, they're the only people who read the actual instruction items. The high D doesn't even realise they're there because he's already thrown the box out before he's actually picked it up. The high I, well, they don't read it because they're too busy on the phone telling everybody that they just bought it. And a high S is just taking it slowly, and they'll get to that, and they will read it in a systematic and slow way. A compliant person who loves checklists, loves detail. Okay, when you have something that's very high detail, if you've got a high detail person, when you communicate with them, give them a lot of detail. Okay, if you want them to do something, give them a checklist to follow. They love the detail. High Ds hate the detail. Give them a checklist and it'll be thrown back in your face. Give them a checklist, the high I checklist. You know, they might follow it if everybody's doing it and we do it together. And a high S, well, yeah, they'll follow it, but it'll be just done in their own time. So, high D, high I, high S, high C personality type. This is a description of who they are. There's so many more ways I can teach you that, but for now, have a think about what you are. Do some research on it. I think the DISC profiling system is a very, very powerful tool. The other part of it is that in terms of people, if people have different modes of communication or interpreting data. So everybody has a predominant way of learning something. So some people are either visual, okay, so when they learn or when they interpret things or when they're processing things, okay, they're visual. So a visual person, if you picture their eyes, okay, when they're trying to learn, their eyes go up because everything they do, everything they hear, everything they experience, they put into a movie. So if you ask somebody who's a visual a question, they're trying to recount something in their memory or they're trying to think through it, you typically see their eyes look up because they're playing a movie in their head. They're trying to go back and say, okay, what did I do then, etc., etc. And audio is the other one. Okay, so obviously these are people who, when you talk to an audio-based person, they don't look at you. A visual will look straight down at you. An audio, they will tend to turn their heads because the way that they understand and hear and relate and learn is by hearing. So they'll tend to put their ears closer to wherever the piece is. Okay? So their eyes, when they're listening, typically go to the side, okay, towards their ears. A kinesthetic, okay, their eyes typically go down because a kinesthetic is about body. A kinesthetic person is someone who learns, communicates, experiences things by doing it. They're a doing person. They have to touch, feel, they have to be experiencing and doing it in order to learn and grow. They can't just read a book and they've got it. They have to actually go and do it. Okay? So it's important for you to know, if you're visually based or audio based or kinesthetic, which one are you? When you're trying to sell something to somebody, if you know that they're visual, don't start talking to them a whole lot. Start showing them things. If people are in audio, stop trying to show them things, tell them more detail. If they're a kinesthetic, don't show them a little bit, tell them a little bit, but get them to touch it, get them to play with it, get them to feel it, get them to try it. You mix your VAK and your disc together, you have a very powerful tool and skill set to influence people, to make an impact, to increase your sales, to increase your relationships, to increase new opportunities for your business, to innovate new products. If you understand people, if you've just got a basic read on them and you know how to communicate to them, you can respect them more, you can appreciate them more, and you can connect in such a better level. And I think they are very, very powerful opportunities that we all desire as people. If you go back to Maslow's hierarchy of need, belonging is such an important thing. I think it's the second on the rank. So if you want to belong, understand. If you want to understand, relate to people in the way that they want to be related to, not through who you are. This will make a profound impact in every conversation you have in your business and also personal life, if you go to the effort of learning it and using it. So there's the disc, there's the VAK. I'm in integrity with my promise to you. My name is Trent Taylor from Teach It Forward. Check out our website at www.teachitforward.com.au for more information, more videos, and send me more requests. I'm happy to do as many videos as you want. Thanks again for watching.